Hi, I'm Josh Krichefski. I'm CEO of GroupM across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. I'm also the president of the IPA. And here are my biggest lessons. Be honest with yourself about what's important to you. What kind of environment do I want to work in? What's important to me? Is it about money? Is it about autonomy? Is it about safety? None of those things are wrong. We just need to be honest with ourselves about what's important to us. Sometimes we look at others who we respect as inspiration into what course we should take in our careers. But actually, it's much better to be really honest with yourself about what's important to you as an individual. So, for example, I once set up my own company earlier in my career because I wanted to try to be an entrepreneur. And I did it for a few years. And you know what? I didn't enjoy it as much as when I worked for companies, whether they were big or small. So I realized I didn't really like being an entrepreneur. So I shut it down. And that was okay. There's no right or wrong answer. There's just creating the right course for yourself as an individual and then following it. Be curious. It's really important to carve time out for yourself for inspiration and to come up with new ideas. For example, when I write strategic presentations, I often do that in a library. And I do that because I like to have books around me so I can wander around when I get writer's block and I can just open different types of books and seek inspiration from them. And more often than not, I get ideas from doing that. Also, it's important to, I believe, be curious about change. So sometimes it's good to change things when they're going well. That can be true of business decisions, innovation within a company, or even job decisions. I've pretty much always changed jobs at a time when things have been going well, not when things have been going badly. And the reason I've done that is I've done it from a position of strength and curiosity and clarity rather than desperation. I feel strongly that when we stick with the status quo, we stagnate. Whereas when we're curious, we progress. People first, better results. By and large, our people are our greatest assets in pretty much any industry that you work in. So it's really important that our people can thrive at work and also bring their true selves to work. So as a leader, I've always tried to kind of role model the behaviors that I think create a psychologically safe environment where people can really be themselves. And I've also really encouraged flexible working over the last decade in the workplace because I want people to feel like when they're at work, they want to be at work, and when they want to work somewhere else, they can do so. But equally, it's important that we all respect our colleagues' own time and own ability to switch off. So I really encourage people not to email their colleagues after 7 o'clock at night or in the weekends so that everybody has that ability to switch off from work. Now, this isn't just something that I think companies should do to differentiate themselves from their competitors. I think it's something that we should all, as leaders, unite behind. So as the IPA president, it's a big part of my agenda. Hard work is more important than technical excellence. When I was growing up, I noticed that some kids just sailed through life. They found schoolwork easy, they found sport easy, anything they put their hand to, they seemed to sail through it. And then it's often those people who found it really easy earlier in life, who when they got older and had to deal with certain challenges as adults, didn't find it that easy to deal with them. I was somebody who didn't find things necessarily that easy. Things didn't come that easily to me as a kid. And so I had to work quite hard. And that's actually put me in quite good stead later on in life because I'm always willing to work the hardest I possibly can and harder than potentially the next person. And that's really helped me. And I think that's not just true in work, but also in sport, in entertainment. We often see people who are really successful and we think it's because they're just really talented. But generally those people, yes, they have talent, but they also work very hard and are willing to work harder than others. So yeah, I believe that working hard is more important than technical excellence. Maintain perspective and prioritize your well-being. You may be somebody like myself who works hard, and that's fine. But don't over-invest emotionally in your work. Work is just one facet of life. Sometimes we over-worry about things that actually we can't even affect anyway, or we unnecessarily worry about things like what other people think of us. It's a complete waste of time. It doesn't make us do any more of a good job in the work that we're doing. So I guess what I'm saying is, work is just one facet of life. There's a much bigger life to live. It's not a rehearsal. So work hard, enjoy your work, but invest emotionally in the people that you love, your family, your friends. You can care about the people you work with. You can have a positive impact on them. But maintain perspective and prioritize your well-being, that of your loved ones.